Hey, what's going on, guys? I just want to make a video about this issue that I fixed. I've been chasing this issue for about a year. The dealer put in a new transmission, didn't fix the problem, so I got tired of dealing with them. So I just decided to fix it myself, and I figured it out finally. Works perfect now. No more jolting, hard downshifts. So pretty much the problem was when I would be at a stoplight or at a stop sign and let go of the brake, it almost felt like someone was bumping you from behind, but it wouldn't really happen on the downhill or uphill. It was normally flat ground. It would only happen sometimes, but then it started getting worse. So I took it in, they replaced the transmission. It didn't do it for about a week, then it started doing it again after they replaced it, but I figured it out. So if you have a two-wheel drive Ram or a 4x4, this is a 4x4, but it has the long bed, so the 6.4 bed. So just to show you, it's the 4x4 with the long bed. The two-wheel drive ones and the long bed ones have a two-piece drive shaft. So if you look under, there's the boot for the drive shaft. So you can see my new clamps. I'll put my the new clamps that I got, all the tools and everything you need for this in the description. I took both sides off, but you don't need to take the back off. It was just easier to cut both ties off and slide the boot backwards. You don't need to take the drive shaft off or none of that. So what you could do is you take that front clamp off, pull the drive shaft boot back. It's harder, so I just cut them both off because the clips are cheap and easy to put on. So if you want to cut both off or just do the front and fight with it and pull it back, there's going to be splines in there. So the splines are on the back side. They're hard mounted on the back of the drive shaft and they slide in that channel. So see all those splines? It slides in there. So what you got to do is pack that boot full of grease. So what you could do at the start is pack that thing full of grease, all the splines, and then I got an inject tool I'll show you, and I injected it into the splines going this way. So when you take the boot off, you'll see where it slides in. And I figured out, I packed it full of grease, took it for a ride, it still did it. Pulled the boot off. I just zip tied the front on just to take it for a ride. Pulled the boot off. The grease definitely slings into the boot ribs. So you might want to do it 2 or 3 times. So I did that, packed it full of grease again, took it out again. It was way better. It wasn't really in the boot splines after I packed it again. So then the third time I bought the inject tool for my grease gun and injected it in, and that's when it really stopped. Injected in the splines, because when you take this boot off your truck, it's going to be dry. They barely put any grease, like a thin layer of grease. So you really want to pack this full of grease, inject it, and the problem I've been having for a year is finally gone. It was crazy. It's because they use these 2-piece drive shafts on the two-wheel drive trucks and the trucks with the long bed. So now you guys see the boot and what to do. I'm going to show you what tools you need. So to get those clips off, I just used a screwdriver and a hammer, bent it off, and then cut it. And then this is the tool you're going to need to put the new clips on. This is the grease you're going to want to use. It's 2221 Ultra Moly. You want to use Ultra Moly grease because it's extreme pressure and it stays on way better. And it's super sticky. And it also flows when it's hot out. And then there's my grease gun with another tube. I bought 2 tubes. I just cut this tube in half so I can, you know, put my hand in there and really smear it on. So I used about a half tube and about a half tube in the grease gun. And that is the inject tool. This thing works flawless. This little inject needle, I'll put all this in the description. So you need the little inject, and just inject that in the splines as much as you can, and then it'll squeeze out the back when you got enough in there and go all the way around the drive shaft. And then I'll put let's see if I got, here's the Napa. Here's the part number for the straps. There's the strap, and that's the tool. So that's this tool right there. So the top one's that tool, and then you'll need 2 clips. So it's CVB 686-5834. 2 of those you'll need. They're $3.99 each. This whole project will cost you about $100, but it's well worth it to fix this issue. Even if you go to the dealership and they put a new drive shaft on, 6 months later it's going to do the same thing because they don't put enough grease in them, so it like binds up. So if you guys have any issues, write in the comments and I'll help you out. Any questions, write in the comments and I'll try to answer them. And by the way, if you guys say the lift did this, it did not. I just put this lift on about 2 weeks ago and this truck was totally stock before and it did it. It actually got better with the bigger tires. It wouldn't do it as much, the jolting. But if you guys have any issues, any questions, just put in the comments. Thank you.